Why doing sponsorships alone is costing you thousands. Every single month that you delay building a real sponsorship system, you are actively leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. You are working harder than ever. You're producing better content than ever, but your bank account does not reflect the size of your audience. And today, I'm going to prove to you exactly why that is happening. Now, I'm Roger Wakefield, the Chief Revenue Officer of Sponsorships and a large creator on social media. But I make money through sponsorships. And before I built the massive systems that run my media business now, I tried doing everything by myself. I tried the spreadsheets. I tried the random direct messages. I tried the endless late nights formatting PDFs, and it cost me a fortune. Stick around, because in a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you the compounding mathematical effect that most creators never calculate or don't know how to calculate. And I will show you exactly why doing this alone is keeping you broke. So let's talk about the reality of doing sponsorships by yourself. Think about your current process and tell me if any of these resonate with you. You find a brand that you like. You spend an hour or two trying to guess what the marketing manager's email address is. You spend another couple hours messing around in Canva trying to make a media kit look professional. For you, it's probably generic, but you're making it look professional. You finally write an email. You hit send and then nothing. Crickets. Complete silence. Now, you feel rejected. You feel like your audience isn't good enough, but it has nothing to do with your audience. Brands actually love it when you try to do everything yourself. Why? Because an exhausted, disorganized creator is a creator who will eventually accept a terrible deal just to get it over with. Now, corporate brands have massive teams. They've got CRM software, data analysts whose entire job is to acquire your audience's attention for the lowest possible price. They use your burnout against you as a negotiation tactic. When you do it alone, you are walking into a gunfight with a butter knife, maybe even a cardboard knife. So let's look at the math. This is a compounding outreach effect. When you do this manually by yourself, how many brands do you think you can realistically pitch in a week? Maybe one or two? It's time consuming. Let's be generous and say that you manually pitch one highly targeted sponsor a week. That's 52 pitches a year. Assuming a standard low industry conversion rate, because you don't have a system, you might close 2 or 3 of those. We're talking what? Maybe 5%? Now look at the creator using the SponsorKit.pro infrastructure. They aren't pitching, once a month, unless they're a rookie just getting started, and I get that. They're not pitching once a week unless they're a creator that's just now getting going, and I get that. They are using our system to pitch 2, 3, or 5 maybe highly targeted sponsors every single day. 2 pitches a day equals 520 pitches a year, unless you're pitching weekends, and then you can get up to what? 700, 730, something like that. Volume multiplies opportunity. When you're doing it alone, high volume is literally impossible. There's not enough hours in the day. When we do everything manually that we now do with SponsorKit.pro, it takes us 8, 10, maybe 12 hours. SponsorKit.pro removes the manual labor. So you can scale your outreach to the level of a professional media agency. But volume without structure is just spam. And that brings us to the second reason doing it alone is costing you money. Structure builds authority. When you're sending manual emails, you look like a freelancer begging for a gig. Brands do not trust creators. They trust structure. They trust professional pitch decks tailored specifically to their goals. They trust professional follow-up sequences that show you're serious about communication. They trust professional data that proves your demographic alignment. When you use SponsorKit.pro to deliver that level of structure, the brand's perception of you instantly changes. You are no longer a risk. You're a safe, professional bet. And brands pay massive premium for safety. And I finally have to talk about speed to revenue. Every hour you spend researching a brand, writing a follow-up email, or trying to generate an invoice, that leads to hours that you're not filming videos, you're not coaching a client, or you're not closing a massive brand deal. Time saved is revenue accelerated. Now, SponsorKit.pro compresses your research, your pitching, your tracking, your billing into one seamless, devastatingly effective motion. Think about what your time is actually worth. If you're spending 20 hours a month doing administrative, busy work, writing cold emails, chasing down unpaid invoices, and trying to format a PDF media kit, you're not acting like a business owner. You are acting like an unpaid intern for the exact corporate brands you're trying to pitch. You are literally paying them with your time for the privilege of maybe getting a deal. Now, when I stepped into the role of Chief Revenue Officer for my own media brand, I realized a truth that completely changed my income trajectory. The brands actually want you to stay stuck in the weeds. They want you exhausted by the process, and they want you tired, overwhelmed, because a tired, overwhelmed creator will accept a $500 deal just to get a quick win. They're actively weaponizing your lack of systems against you to protect their own corporate budgets. But when you compress 20 hours of manual labor into 20, 30 minutes of automated system management, the dynamic flips. You take your power back. You stop operating from a place of desperate scarcity, and you start operating with the abundance mindset of a true executive. You stop asking what they can afford, and you start telling them what your platform costs. The industry gatekeepers want you to keep acting like a lonely freelancer. We built SponsorKit.pro to help speed up what we were doing. What used to take us the 8 to 12 hours I was talking about, we can now do in about 15 minutes. How many 15-minute sections of the day could you spend sending out sponsorships that are going to generate you millions of dollars? The industry gatekeepers, they want you to keep acting like a lonely freelancer. They want you unorganized so they can keep buying your influence for pennies on the dollar. You have to stop freelancing your future and start building a permanent infrastructure. And that means you absolutely must step up and check out SponsorKit.pro. Now, at SponsorKit.pro, there are the rookie and creator packages if you are just starting out. But if you're serious about this, you need to step up to the SponsorKit Pro or Pro Plus tier. The basic entry-level plans are fine if you're just starting out, if you're dabbling in this. But if you're an operator, if you are serious about taking your market share, you need heavy artillery. When you upgrade to the pro level, the system does the heavy lifting for you. You unlock the high volume outreach limits, the invoicing, and the multi-deck scalability that mathematically forces your revenue to grow. Doing it alone, that's a trap. Stop bleeding money. Click the link below, go to SponsorKit.pro, and if you're serious about this, upgrade to the Pro or Pro Plus plan and let the system work for you. SponsorKit.pro, it's your turn to be on top.